I just did a whole bunch of stuff thinking everybody was watching. I don't think I was live. Everybody though, I mean, I don't know who all. See, now the numbers are just blowing up. I got 1 concurrent viewer, 0 likes. Like, this is huge. Oh, there we go. We got 1 like, no viewers. These are the numbers I'm talking about. So for the last 15 minutes, I took the wheels off of this and wasn't live. Hey, Westy. I don't know what I'm saying. Hopefully you can hear me. I turned the mic off for a little bit. But I was live for like 15 minutes in my head. And then I'm like, you know, I am such a big figure on the YouTube space that it's blowing my mind that I don't have the godfather of YouTube chat, Western Mass Climber, in. And I should just be pulling sick numbers at noon on a Thursday, and there was nothing. So then I looked at the YouTubes, and you have to click this button that says actually to go live. So that helps a little bit. And now look at the chat, it's blowing up with you. So what's up, Westy? I don't know where my camera, there it is. I'm gonna take the wheel off though, so every time when I run my impact, I gotta mute it, or it just probably blow people's eardrums. So let me know how everything sounds, if you would, as also the #1 YouTube chat moderator, the best at giving positive feedback in a reinforcing way. My music looks like it's good. Okay, here we go. We're gonna mute the mic. All right, thanks for that feedback. I did a little adjustment. We'll give you a minute here to see how things sound. I bumped the background down to about 45. And then my voice will reach an upward, I don't know. I don't understand any of this stuff. But hopefully it's a little better now. I know my microphone might be on its fritz, so DJI, if you're listening, or any microphone company at all, I will gladly give you a half-hour advertisement for any microphone on the planet. I'm a sellout. I'm just kidding, but maybe I'll bump it down just a tad more there. See how that does. You know, we got the best AI generated music on the whole platform, so I want to make sure that my viewers get the best of both worlds. Mic aux is jacked up, those are muted. Media player though, I don't know why my media player, oh well, it's working. Thanks, Westy, I appreciate it, dude. Thank you. All right, now we're gonna take the calipers off. I need to get something for that here real quick. I gotta do things a little bit different now that I'm live. I mean, I do have my own way, but there's, I don't want to say my way is the wrong way, but or the right way, or however that goes. Oh, it's gonna get hot. Holy moly. I need to seal off the doors. It's gonna get really hot. It's gonna be brutal in here. So I've got the AC cranking. Hey Carney, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Thank you for stopping in. Once Westy heads off to an MMA channel, I was gonna try to make a joke, but I can't. Once Westy heads off to an MMA channel, I'll give Carney mod status because, like, Westy's the mod of all mods. If you've ever been in an MMA channel, you would know that I feel quite blessed right now to have Carney and Westy in here. Anybody who's watching, I feel blessed to have you here. So thank you. But Carney, it was good being on this morning and getting to know you better as always. Okay, what do I do now? Boom. Volume is low. For me or the background music? That's the second time I heard that. I wonder if it's this mic on the fritz. Oh, you know what? I'm going to try something real quick that I did last time and it worked. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to change it. So, oh, nice. Thank you, dude. That's awesome. I thought I just gave you mod status here. Let's try this again. How come I can't? Okay. I'm trying to add you here. Add. Maybe I gotta do it from YouTube. I bet you that's it. Alright, I'm gonna try that quick. Well, thanks for having me on your show. That's awesome. I appreciate that. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, today we're doing front pads and rotors on this QX56. Rear pads and rotors, and then an exhaust manifold. So I've been playing with the microphone. Yeah, I just don't know. Audio input capture. I'm gonna turn that down once too and just see, since I'm just playing. I'm learning. We're all learning here, I think. Mic, aux, up, max. It's just cranked. Now I could go to the settings quick. Let me go to my settings here. Properties. Yep. All right. Well, I appreciate the feedback. I'm gonna get away from my fight night, Frankie. Right on, brother. Road to 1,000. We're getting close, man. It's awesome. I'm super stoked. Problem is time. Like, it's Thursday, dude. I should have had this thing done last week. Not literally, but almost. This was dropped off on Monday afternoon, and then Tuesday went to shit, and then every other day kind of just petered into oblivion, and Junior's off from school. So this isn't going to work the way I want it to. We'll see how this goes here, but jeez. Thanks, Frankie, Carney, Westy, appreciate it. Really appreciate everyone here. Thank you. It's been fun watching your journey as well. I always love being part of the streams. half the time I have you on in the background just because I'm always busy doing this crap. And then today I thought, you know, it's just not, it's just too big. That's what she said. Screw it. Normally I wouldn't do this, but we're just gonna have to gently let it hang for a second. Yeah, I'm always busy doing this stuff, so it's hard to, I get distracted by the keyboard. Keyboard distracts me. Don't know why we're doing pads entirely on it, but I know the rotors are cooked, so we're gonna do it all. I'm excited. I've had the watch hours since that first video, Frankie. So it's like a little disheartening. I don't care really about the whole I mean, I do care. I do care about the monetization thing and stuff, but I at the same time was like, man, hit those hours right off the bat. It was a real struggle to get the subscribers, but it was all off of a bus video, and I'm not a bus guy, and I'm not a car guy either. That's why, but I figured I'm doing this. I am a car guy, so I might as well just video it and see what happens. So I'm gonna mute my microphone again here and let you listen to this AI generated blues music for a second, because I'm gonna make some noise. Because the impact is so loud. So I'm gonna mute the mic. Thank you all for being here, just tuning in, stopping by, saying hi. It's been a great time getting to know everybody over the last few years, and look forward to all the years to come. All right, microphone should be back. I'm gonna bump the background music down a little bit, I think. Maybe that, I don't think that affects my microphone at all. It shouldn't, but maybe it does. It can't, no, that's desktop audio. All right, anyway, here we are. Rotor came off easy. Where the calipers just chilling up there. We are going to see what we got here. This is not brake cleaner there. Like I said, the pads were fairly decent, but we're gonna put new ones on because that's what it's here for. And this, oh, this gimbal drifts. Look at that. I'm not moving that. I'm sorry for giving you motion sickness. It drifts more than a Japanese race car. All right, those are rear. Hopefully these are the front. Nothing but wrong parts yesterday. Actually, this is the second time that it's here for wrong parts, or not wrong. Last time it was wrong parts, but I got a lot of the brake stuff cleaned up. So that way we can just kind of, this is all, it doesn't look clean, but it is, that's just grease. So we'll probably still put the new hardware on it. This is all cleaned. I sandblasted and painted these last time. These are already pre-lubed. This one might need some more. Might not hurt to see what that looks like. We'll still clean it good though, because it gets a little sticky there. They move nice and freely. Here's our new ones. Never just rip these open like a reckless mechanic, because I did that once and so sharp. So sharp. So I no longer rip those open like a reckless mechanic. Carney. I seen Carney sent me here to harass you, and I said a different word. So Hardwire 1%er. Good to see you. Thank you for joining in on the chat. Harass all you want. I guarantee there's probably not a beating that I can't take anymore, at least verbally and especially typed, but physically, definitely, please don't. I don't want to. I'm too old. But my son has been a little bit of a harasser lately. So, but yeah, open these carefully, because oofda. Now why are 3 painted and 1's shiny? Is that the special one, or did they must have forgot to give it its hyperbolic coating. But I don't care what you coat it with. Here in the Midwest, whatever we put down with those semis, they literally have tanker semis that drive on the roads and spray this mystery solution. And I'm telling you, it just wreaks havoc on cars like you've never seen before. It's crazy. Oh. Rotors aren't as bad, but since the scissors are right there, I won't hack job mechanic rip them open. And this is a rear. So we're just going to go set this back there. Thankfully, these aren't dunked in a bucket of fish oil. When they were at the dealership, a lot of times from Japan, when the rotors would come, they would just literally be dripping with like some type of not like a wax that an AK would be packed in, but like, I don't know what you call it. But we never cleaned them off with brake cleaner, ever. Because it was about efficiency and flat rate, right? So you just slap them on, and then on the test drive, get it up to speed and make sure you really cooked them good. They would come back literally smoking. But by the time the porter ran it through the car wash, got vacuumed and cleaned up, good to go. No comebacks. If you didn't do that though, and you didn't clean the rotors and you didn't test drive it, you would have a comeback, because the customer would literally come back irate that their rotors are going to start on fire. In reality, it was just the oil baking off. But that's just some of the talk of a dealership cookie cutter mechanic at one point in his life. That's all it was. Get them in, get them out, roll them in, roll them out, get them out of my way. Oops. Oh, yesterday, got some comments here. Let's see what people are saying. I'm in Ohio. I know all about mystery solutions sprayed on roads and in the sky, for that matter. Yes. You know, the other night I was up at Rob's. I filmed pushing. He broke his collarbone, so I dumped I just read or dumped from trains. He dumped his bike a couple weeks ago, broke his collarbone. I helped him push a few bikes in his van because he's still going to probably race this weekend. And there was those things in the sky, and it looked like this epic storm was going to come, but it didn't. And I just was like, you know what? I just wonder, you know, it really makes you wonder. So, welcome from Ohio. My son just stepped in here to say hi. I'm going to mute the mic for just a sec and we'll get back to talking things in the sky. All right, I'm here, everyone. I just wanted to let you know. I think my music player quit playing this epic AI generated homemade my music, basically. There we go. Get this stream rolling again. We'll get a few more thousand viewers in here in no time. We were up to 4 or 5 at one point, maybe. So that's pretty rad. Okay, I got to mute my mic just one more second. My son wants to show me something. Hey, Derek. Hardwire. All right, here we go. I know, right? 12-year-old boy. He told me about 250 dirt bikes, some stuff he wants to do to his background, his back room. And yeah, so we've got a little room off the house. He kind of wants to make it into I don't know, a clubhouse thing, but he also wants to make it big enough so he can bring his motorcycle in there. And you could never blame a kid for wanting his motorcycle in his bedroom. So hopefully you guys can hear me a little better now. I turned the background music down a bit and the mic up all the way. So thanks a lot, Derek. I have seen you in key fob. Still isn't working right. Storm rolled in. I think I'm finally here. Great interruption reason. I missed my young. So let me know, key fob, if still isn't working right as for me and my audio. Maybe, are you here? Hey, old Mac. Hope you. I do. I've got it right here. Let me see. Where am I? Right here is like my mic. Right here. There's the mic. Here's my mouth. Mic. So I don't know. It's right there. I'm like, it's charged. I'll try the other one. It's got another one. Let me try the other one. It's just not loud. I had to use my browser volume filter. Interesting. Interesting. I really appreciate all this feedback. And a hardwire, I'll get to everybody's comments here in just 1 second. I just want to get this audio dialed in a little better. I wonder if I use like my real snowball microphone, because I'm only going to talk when I'm by the car. Well, I want to talk while I work too. So here we go. I'm going to try this other mic. All right, we got a new mic. This is a mic working. All right, so here's a new microphone. We'll see if that's any better. And anybody wants to drop any hints, I'm using OBS Studio. And oh, it's Thursday. I gotta just take this call here real quick. I'm sorry, everyone. This is single dad life at its best. Right, here we go. Mic is back. Everything is working again. What? Sorry about that. Hopefully you can hear me better now. I had to take a phone call. The lady was nice. She's going to call back at 3:30, so that gives me a couple of hours. But my mom will be stopping by, and I'm sure we'll get interrupted by my son a few more times. So this helps keep me on my toes. But we need to get back to the brake job here, and I need to read some of the one percenters' comments. And I wonder if it has something to do with my background music as well. Maybe I should mute that too. There, now everything is muted except for my microphone. Nothing else is getting through. And I use OBS Studio. It could probably, I know it's probably my microphone, because when I was on with Dean this morning and all you awesome people, it seemed like my Snowball microphone was working fine. But this is the cordless one, so we know all about the solutions. Derek, again, thank you for stopping in. Key Fob, glad you're there. A lot of storms going through everywhere. It's going to get so hot here over the weekend. I know, Derek, it goes by so fast. I mean, I've got this picture of him over here from when we used to do moto trials, and I'm never going to get this car fixed. But yeah, he buried it up to the axle, and in moto trials, if you, it's just a 5, you know. So, but he was so close to breaking down. He's like, Dad, I do not want a 5. You can see his little smirk. That's like, oh, look at there. Anyway, that just seems like yesterday, literally. I still have that jersey hanging up in the closet like just yesterday. So I'll take those interruptions all the time, any day, because in just a few years, they're going to not be as abundant. And they won't probably be about dirt bikes and cool things and forts. Yes, I do. I need a better wireless mic. These are very old. Can you help me put my motorcycle in my bedroom? I'd rather have it there than my wife. Good afternoon, fine people, says old Mac. Just not that loud. Okay. Did I mention the bedroom's on the 2nd floor? That's awesome. Okay, sound fixer, a Firefox plugin. I will look into that. And OBS, just turn up the source volume for that mic. Okay, mic. Clicking on it. I'm gonna, the bar at the bottom is just cranked as far as it'll go. Active sources, audio input, mic, aux. Oh, here, hold on now. I can go up higher than what it, there we go. How's that now? I'm just gonna go up 5. Let's go up 5 dBs and see what happens here. Everybody's like, yep, we're gonna just get out of this stream. My ears are bleeding. All right, we'll see if that helps. I've got the same setup, old Mac. That Jim Spider says, Frankie, fight it. Yes. Fob, good to see you in here. Hardwire 1%er, single dad 2, so I got it. Mine are all over 18 now. Yes, it goes by so fast. Yeah, just let that little guy go. I don't need to. Me and Rob were outside talking the other night. This big spider came running across and stopped right in front of us. And I go, do you want to kill it? And he goes, no. And I go, I don't either. So much better. Awesome. Awesome, dude. I had no idea you could do that under the properties. So if nothing else, I learned one thing from this stream. I thank you for that, Derek, very much. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to put some rotors back on this, hang some brake pads and caliper brackets, and see how many more interruptions we get. What a nice clean vehicle, though. This is a 2012. 11, I'm sorry, a 2011. So it's already, what, 15 years old. And to see a frame like that in Wisconsin is very, very rare. And it has predominantly lived most of its life here. The owner just takes really good care of it. And his steering wheel shakes from highway speeds. So his rotors are warped. I wonder if I turn the music or the desktop audio back on up a little bit for background music. It really is clean, isn't it? Oh, great. Well, thank you very much for the help. In eastern Nebraska, salt, sand, etc. Yup. All right, desktop audio. Okay, now let me know for background music, because it's the same thing I can hear, but I don't know if everybody likes that. But when you gotta mute it for air tools and stuff, it's kind of nice to have a little background music. As a viewer, that's how I look at it, whether I like the music or not. So awesome. Well, thank you very much on that. And I just went up 5 decibels on the mic, so I could probably go up 10 and then, or even whatever, and then just back it down with my blue bar here on the front. So it's not piped through. You might have it muted on stream, but not on monitor. Okay. Oh, I do. Right? No, let's see here. Let me crank it up a little bit more. There we go. That's all my streams lately have just turned into viewers helping me, but hey, that's what it's all about. Awesome, thank you, cool. There we go. I'm gonna put it at like 25, negative 25. Perfect, awesome. Thank you for the feedback. I really, really appreciate the feedback. God, these are big old rotors on here. And I'm sure, I don't even know what dealers, like, I'm so out of touch with that anymore. I just know it's a lot that they would want. So these are aftermarket, but probably at the end of the day, isn't this all just recycled metal anymore? I mean, I understand there's certain compounds and probably metallurgy tests that it sort of has to meet, but I just don't ever remember rotors warping as much as they haven't as they do in the last 15 years. So who knows, it could be all planned, but either way, I'm just, you know, we can speak with our wallets and stuff too, though. And that's, I kind of got into it a little bit with a guy at the dump the other day about planned obsolescence, and he thinks the robots are going to take over and win. And I said, no, not anytime soon. I said, we control the power switch. He's like, oh, you think we do? And it's like, well, yeah, we do. But getting to the automotive side of things, he kept saying over and over that, you know, we wouldn't have anything to do as a technician if cars didn't brake. So that's why they're engineered to brake now. Because I cited the 99 to 2004, 5-ish GM LS engine that was put in every truck, race car, performance thing, everything under the sun had that platform without active fuel management. And I've never, you just literally have to do everything under the sun to brake them. But there's still a million, whoa, nobody wants to see me that close. There's still, there we go. there's still like a million other things to fix on cars. If the transmission and engine lasts a million miles, there's a plethora of other things that are always going to go wrong. And as a technician, I don't want to fix engines and transmissions unless we're tweaking them and making them performance and doing cool stuff. But just, if I worked at a dealership, which I did for 12 years, at a Nissan dealer from 2002 to 2013, and I never ever saw one head gasket failure. I replaced one water pump. I saw one engine fail because the guy didn't change his oil in 33,000 miles. I saw transmissions fail from pans being hit and driven, low on fluid, but so rare to see an automatic transmission failure in that era. And yet, I don't know, they just keep making it worse and worse. I'm here for the community and to help where I can. I'm always doing my best to help and be positive. So much effing negativity in the world. And I'm also a gearhead, so a brake job is fun. That's awesome. They did make them thinner, yup, thinner and lighter. There's nothing pure anymore. It's all used. There was a huge supply issue in eastern Nebraska where I had 4 sets of rotors in a row from 2 different manufacturers warp in less than a year. It's not a conspiracy. There are things to consider I won't get into, LOL. Yeah, I agree. It's not a conspiracy. Your audio is great now. Your voice is still over the background music enough to make out what you're saying, and the music is a great level. Thank you very much. Much love for that. Appreciate it. And I'm gonna also, so that way you can, it helps everybody out in the community. That way you can look at other channels, share, and help people that way. Hardwire, I'll do that too. I want everybody that I feel is like, I'm not that I feel, but I can tell who's cool and not. That way we get, spread the love even more. If you're a mod, then you can check out channels, share links. I'm so new to all of this. I don't have a very big subscriber count. We're getting close to 1K. I shouldn't say that. I don't do live streams very often, and my videos are mediocre that I'm just continuously trying to get better at. This has those silly little separator springy thingies, which I like. In theory, they seem to work okay, especially on these bigger Nissans. We're just gonna let them hang there because we gotta compress the caliper quick. And to do that, what are we gonna do on this one? I don't have any fancy caliper tools. I never have. I've never been that guy. Just use whatever I guess works. I have all the stuff for rear brake calipers. It wouldn't hurt if you decided to go up. Okay, I'll do that quick. Let's do it. Let's go back to mic aux properties, default. Oh no, not that here. Mic aux advanced properties. Mic aux. We're gonna go up another 5. Why not? There we go. How's that now? Should be a little bit better, or maybe even right where it needs to be. Best thing is doing it to share and for yourself. You'll grow how and where you want to. I had a huge channel from 07 to 19 with thousands of videos and comments and over 14K subs I deleted. I came back with this account and here we are. Yeah, that's what I do, Westy. Yeah, that's even better. That's okay, cool on the audio. Thank you very much for that feedback. And Westy, yes, that's what I'm gonna do. This has those fellathraptic, whatever, like, oh, what do you call them? A composite piston. So you got to be a little careful with those. But what I usually do is use an old brake pad, and then I'll jam it. Well, not jam it. We'll set it in there, then compress them that way, and get it close. It'll work just fine like that. Just catch it there. Take your time. Maybe it'll not walk up. There we go. Go back and forth a little bit here. Actually, what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to grab a channel lock. Sometimes you can just do it with your, yeah, see, I can do this with my hand. Yeah, it just pushes right back in with your hand. So that's nice. And we'll swing it over here and give this one just one last little, make it feel special. And we'll check our dust boots, make sure this dust boot here looks a little wonky. So we'll get a little flat head. Usually air will build up in there sometimes, stuff like that. So I like to really gently go under the seal here. Kind of clean that stuff. There's a layer of crapola. We're just being real gentle. I'm not pushing hard at all. Don't freak out because I'm using a little flat head on a rubber thing. It's not gonna puncture it. Oh, here's the other. See how it's kind of balloonified? If you don't, the pad will stick there, and then as the piston comes out, it'll pull on that seal. So the other side had crap in it, but this side has air in it. There we go. Did you hear that? Probably not, but air, just a little bleed. Nice and clean there. And then for the magic, and that's keeping the pads from flying off onto the floor while you put your caliper back onto the bracket. And I did put some lube on both sides of the deal there. I guess in talking with you guys and my son, I didn't lube these caliper pins, so we're going to wipe these off real quick and lube those. Thanks, Keyfob. I appreciate it, man. C-clamps are amazing. Oh, no, I appreciate that, Derek, and the foresight to say that, and it's all good, brother. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I wish my camera, I'm going to adjust this. I've got an aerial camera that's just not the way it should be. And if I'm going to do this, I might as well make it better, like, or the way it should be, so to speak. I can't find my stool. Here it is. And then I'm going to climb on top of my toolbox. We're going to adjust this one a little bit. There, that's a little better. I see more of the shop. You're not just looking at a car while I talk, but boy, those graphics, or the clarity is pretty poor compared to that clarity there. I said lube. As long as it's moist, we're good. That's awesome. All right, so now got distracted with the camera. That, here we go. Here's the super lube. That's even what it says it is, too. I don't know, it's just a good clear, almost like a dielectric grease. Honestly, don't know where I got it. Just one of those things that show up. I should probably tighten the bracket down first. I'll just tighten this top one here so we can get the caliper on. Otherwise our pads will go flying out like that. I'm totally not used to doing this stuff on camera. I did a little stint at the dealership and they wanted us to film videos to send the customer, and I thought, well, jeepers, that should come with quite a, and they were going to give like a $2 bonus for every video, and it was just a huge waste of time. I don't think that that's necessary for people bringing their, this was a very short stint at a dealership, and so you got to hold the pads and get the caliper on there without dropping the caliper, because it's got those springy thingies. There we go. Oh, there you go. There. And I thought, I'm not going to do videos standing in front of a customer's car using my cell phone to upload. If I'm going to do that, I'm just going to make YouTube videos, right? Come on. But then with all the motorcycle stuff I have available to use, papers. That's where I want to focus, is on the motorcycle stuff. Quite honestly, I am struggling to get a bolt in here. Maybe it's because this camera's in the way. You little booger. Because my bracket's not tight. I forgot to tighten the bracket, and I didn't want to take the pads back out. And that's why it's not lining up. So I'm going to mute the mic. I'm going to tighten the caliper bracket. Then we'll get the bolts in correctly. But that's what we're going to do. Dielectric grease is such an amazing invention, and you're doing fine on camera. Being kind of new to live streams, or at least not a regular thing, it's working out well in my opinion. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. So I'm gonna widen this angle. See, we're learning. Here we go. There we go. Whatever. That's good right there. This, we backed up some. Whoa. And then, yeah, I'm gonna go tighten that up. I gotta hit the mic though, or it's gonna be way too loud. And we'll put on some more background music, because that stopped playing as well. That's this like elevator music. I like this one. All right, here we go. Muting the mic. All right, I got it back. And the bolt is started, the caliper bracket is tight, but I do not like to use the impact to tighten down caliper bolts. The bracket bolts, yes. Caliper bolt here, not so much. I just as soon use my my integrated torque wrench. That 25 years of experience has gifted me with a pretty accurate 120 foot-pounds. You know, I can't get down to the Newton meters, but we can get pretty accurate. Just want to make sure that there's a flat side. There we go, that those get seated in. That down. And it's kind of a memory thing too. If I use the impact, it goes so fast. I'll find myself second guessing. Did I tighten it down? Did I not? This way I can just know that I did. There, those are tight, that's tight. So we're good to go. And I am gonna put the wheel back on this side because it needs to go on. But I'm gonna rotate the tires, I think. So we're changing the oil. And the rear ones are down a little bit more than the front. So I'm gonna put the rear to the front. Set this 550-pound wheel. Insane. I guess I could use a cart, but holy cow, whoever thought we would need like hydraulic carts? I mean, at a semi shop or end loaders and stuff, but we're just talking about commercial vehicles here. At least it's not an Audi or something German where I've got to deal with stupid bolts to hold the wheel on. So thank you, Nissan, for sticking with studs. If you want to be super cool, just get the race stuff with the one big nut. Then you got the ultimate at that point. A couple of these were swelled, and I'm pretty sure I have more lug nuts here. So I'm gonna probably replace a few of these before I tighten them down final. And I never will final tighten the wheel until I get the job all the way done on the rest of the car. Yes, impacts for caliper bolts means a torch and a hammer to get them off. That's very true. Wes, do you have the awareness to realize when you need to move? Oh, yes. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. No, that's funny. The NASCAR Cup Series nut. Yeah, dude, like the F1 cars too. Like just zing that off. And yes, every car should just have one big nut. Hey, we're still here, Westy. I appreciate that. I really do. And I don't mean to say it like that either, but I really appreciate it. And you're going to get pounded with storms on the East Coast today, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully you'll not endure any of the storms yourselves, Westy, but it probably brings you a lot of business with your tree services, tree climbing abilities. All right, on to the next one. Except we're gonna get some light in here. This one, we're just gonna take the bracket off and the rotor, and then we're gonna rip the inner fender out because we gotta replace the exhaust manifold. Yay. Yay, let's get some emojis in the chat for that. Exhaust manifolds. Yay. On an all-wheel drive SUV, steering column that goes right in front of it. Front differential to contend with. that may just get removed. I don't know. We'll have to. It's been a while since I've done one of these, which I've done a few, and we're doing it for the cat efficiency codes. I'd like to just get rid of all of them. We're in non-emission state. And the problem with Nissans of this era and catalytic converter issues is that Nissan doesn't have any type of EGR on this vehicle. So it uses cam timing to help with the emissions, so to speak. So on certain in certain conditions, when the exhaust valve is open, even though one would think that it's pushing exhaust out, it can still get debris from the catalytic converter in it. And that takes out your motor pretty quick. That's what happened with all the Nissan 2.5s, I believe, when they first came out. They put the cat right off the manifold, and with the exhaust valve cam timing the way it was, it would allow particles of the catalytic converter, once it started chunking apart and disintegrating, to go back into the engine and then mess up the cylinder wall and take out your motor from there. So yeah, love for exhaust, yay! Cam timing, yay! Holy crap, straight line winds of 120 in eastern Nebraska, 3 jet streams, and yeah, I wouldn't. You get everything there. And horrible winters too. If I'm not mistaken, the winters can be really brutal. Here in Wisconsin, it's just cold 6 months, and then it's nice for like a couple weeks, and then it's hot and humid, and then it's nice for a couple of weeks, and then it's cold for 6 months. Yeah, right. Planned obsolescence with chunky cat bits. Totally, yeah. Okay, same winters for you. Yeah, brutal. You get those the winds and stuff. We've got a lot of hills and valleys that helps a lot with the weather here, but yeah, it's humid as heck today. I just saw my shop door on this side is open just a little bit here. I'm gonna pull it down some. I've got the AC on. I do have jeans. I normally would wear shorts, but it was such a beautiful morning this morning when I was on with Motobum for a little bit there, or I was on for longer than a little bit, but it was a great time. And yeah, I had the shop door open. It was just beautiful out. And then the humidity just pours in. I can't imagine what Florida's like. I've never been to Florida in the summer, but I can only imagine that it's just brutal. Sick, what's up? Speaking of Florida, there we go. I got my AC going in the shop today. Doors are all closed. I was just saying how this morning when I was on with you guys that it was beautiful outside. I had the door open. Oh, it was just so nice outside. And now it's humid as heck. I mean, it's really humid. But so I should have turned the AC on a little sooner. And when I talk about the AC, I just wonder if I can show you without blinding everybody. There she is. And then it drips the water into that little trough, into that funnel, and then into a bucket that I have on the floor that I have to empty about twice a day. But so that's my AC right there. Isn't that nice, huh? But the ceiling is insulated, the walls are all insulated, and this is just half of the shop because it's a big shop. And I'm like, if I'm just one person, I'm not going to heat and insulate and AC a huge building when I'm only occupying a little space of it. Someday maybe, but probably not. I just don't see the reason to. Now, the other side of the shop is very hot because the AC is blowing all of its heat into the other side of the shop. So, but it's too hot over there anyway to work anyway, so who cares? That's how I look at it. So I'm gonna go under and zip out the 2 caliper bolts. We'll take the rotor off and then work on getting this atrocious inner fender out so we can maybe attempt to see the exhaust manifold. That's where I want to start, is visual. Gainesville, Florida, the swamp. That's a garage AC if I've ever seen one. Looks like it's either developed language skills or is medically significant, LOL. We're under a heat advisory with temps up to 100 plus. Yeah, that's nasty. My mom told me today that she's like, yeah, this weekend it's supposed to be 105. I'm like, oh, cool, where? She's like, here. And I'm like, where? Here in Wisconsin? Yes, here. It's like gonna be 105 heat indices, and so I was like, oh, wow. Did not think of it. I mean, here summer's right now, so I'm gonna mute the mic quick. All right, mic back on. I'm hoping to get down to Florida in October for the FA camp out, but that's depending on my spinal issue and if they're treated by then. That's awesome. I hope you really get some help there, Derek. I would love to make it down to that too. I was thinking about talking about it this morning, but I semi-limited resources, and should see when my parents go down though, because my mom has a house in Florida, or a little, I don't know what you, yeah, like a little snowbird place. The old snowbird. All right. Stay. Good caliper. That just helps. I mean, it doesn't help much, but it gets a little, it makes it feel like it's more open. So now we'll start with a multitude. Hopefully, yeah, Nissan's pretty good. We've got some Torx throughout, and then the little clippies, which I have a fun little tool for to get to show off. I'll grab that quick. Yeah, it's like it was spring and beautiful, and now it's just nasty Florida summer here in Wisconsin. It's just gonna be brutal for another 2 months, and then it'll be like fall for 3 weeks, and then it's gonna snow 8 inches and be cold forever. Thankfully, we don't get much snow like we used to. I shouldn't say thankfully, that's horrible. But as a kid, I remember just so much more snow, and I don't know if it's because I was a kid, but I think you can look at scientific data and it'll show that yes, you know, it's happening to a certain degree, and there's just no trails. There are snowmobile trails all over here, but they hardly get ridden in the winter because if it snows, it's either not here for long or it won't snow and it'll just be brutally cold for weeks at a time. And that snowmobile video though I did really well, so I might look into pursuing snowmobiles more, but they take up so much room in the shop and they're a pain in the butt to move around. I guess you get them carts and stuff, but I love motorcycles and that's my niche, and I love motorcycles, and cars are a means to maybe I don't know, I've been in cars my whole life, so it's tough to get away. I'll take a bike all day, any day over a car because it's what I've just gotten good at because of my ability to fix cars and diagnose. And then road racing, I raced motorcycles for years, enduro, moto trials, road racing. So if you can fix a complicated Japanese car, you should be able to fix a motorcycle. But I know my limits and I know what I can and can't do. I won't typically work too much on Harleys. A friend of mine has a Harley shop in Monroe and does well there. He'll give me advice if I like tires, primary chain adjustments. I've done a few clutches. Anytime there's specialty tools needed on a Harley, it's out of my wheelhouse. I'll just be honest. That's what I am, is I'm honest. Because it's really easy to back yourself into a corner in the automotive motorcycle world, especially if you don't know what you're doing. And I don't have anybody to back me up once I'm in that corner. So I guess that's the best way that I can term it. Sorry if that was loud. I didn't even think of that. More up here. Big old one-piece inner fender. Pick that one up in a second. Yep. I'll get that one too. Probably dropped about 6 or 9 already. Okay, so those are out. I'm sure these 10s, oh yeah, why not just an inner fender? Let's integrate it with the lower bumper part too. So we'll get a 10 millimeter and zip some out under there, then get our clips out. Lower it some here. Hi, hold on just a sec. I'm gonna mute my camera. I'll be right back here in just a sec. All right, Mike is back on. Mom stopped by to help out with Junior for a little bit. He wants to do these room renovations, and I thought, I'm out here, whether I'm live streaming or work. Like, I feel bad because I do have the live stream thing. I don't feel bad, but it's like if I could focus and work 100%, this 4-wheel brake job would have probably been close to done. But I really enjoy this, and I busted my ass the last 2 weeks. So this is kind of like my Friday night out with the guys, because I don't have those or any Friday nights out. So, and even if I did, this is what I'd want to be doing anyway. So I think that's the meaning of happiness, somewhat, or maybe that's what I'm just gonna tell myself. Okay, this might be loud. Do that 2 more times. Okay, now we'll get our plastic ones once I pick up these 35 screws I dropped all over. Cool. Right. Oh, here's a cool little tool. This is to get those little clips out. It works really good. And I think I've got one I can demonstrate on right here. Come on. So you've got the plastic clip, and like you go in with a flat head and you pry it, it just breaks a chunk of it off. And you're like, oh, so you go to the other side. And by the time you're done, you've taken a pry bar and just marred the whole thing off. But these little guys, just you grip each side of it. Oh, and this one's not a 4, but then it usually just pops it down like that. Then you can squeeze on the plastic middle, pull it out really easy. Probably one of my top 5 favorite, top 10. It's in the top 10. Definitely in the top 10. Super handy. In a pinch, side cutters work really well if you don't get too tough with them. But these are my go-to whenever I see a clip. We always, then you don't break them off and have to deal with, it makes them semi-reusable. Oh. What else do we got holding us in here now? I think this is where you just get a little tough with it from memory. It's also clipped in. We've got all our screws out. Oops, sorry about that. You probably saw my balding gray hairs. Okay, we're just gonna do like I said. I'm gonna give it another visual before I my last favorite of the, I didn't even really like this era of Infinities because they got too bubbly. And after 2012, Infinity went downhill quite fast in my book. Damn, I gotta run to see if for the Bodak quiz for sure. All right, 2 hours, I'll be there. Derek, see you soon. Have a great day. Thank you so much for jumping in and saying hi. I really appreciate it. So it might just be me and you right now, sick. And I didn't get through a lot of these comments here. I apologize. Yeah, we're all got you in our thoughts, Derek. Hopefully that gets worked out soon and things get better for you, man. Bought my first Grom in 2015. I bought mud tires and screwed half-inch hex bolts into the threads and was out in the ice and snow. Oh my God, I bet that would be a blast. Two-wheeled life. Love it, love it. Yep, we'll be at the Bodak quiz for sure tonight, Westy. And Sick, I don't know if you follow MMA or anybody that's watching right now is into mixed martial arts. Yeah, the Bodak quiz is awesome. It's all about MMA types. No, his quiz usually isn't. His general knowledge quiz is either way. Even if you don't give a crap about MMA, it's worth tuning into. So my phone just went dead. So we're gonna put this up here. There. I think this might be a good time to call it because I'm starving. There we go. So I'm gonna go eat. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a blast. I might stream it up here when I come back out. We'll see what's going on. But again, thanks Westy, Derek, Sick, the One Percenter, Old Mac, everyone who stopped in, Motobum, everybody. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Have a great day.